Laughing Vikings Live. High vibe chats with actors, comedians, and creators, plus stand-up comedy, sketch comedy, and most importantly, you. That's right, join us every Monday for new episodes, and you can be a part of the show on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch. Ask questions and interact in the comments, and make sure to share this with your actor, comedian, and creator friends so they can be a part of the show too. Can't make a live show? No problem. You can catch up on your favorite podcast platform and visit laughingvikings.com to find out how you can join the cast and crew. All right, it's time for today's show. Buckle up and make sure you stick around to the end because we have a special surprise for you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Laughing Vikings Live. Happy Monday Fun Day. Let's go. Welcome to episode 85, everybody. I'm Lars. That's the BK Broiler. I'm at Laughing Vikings New York City and Broilers at home at LVHQ in Toronto. How you doing, BK?
I'm doing fantastic, Lars. You know what I just watched before we came on this podcast?
No.
I watched a fantastic performance of yours as I believe his name was Kirk Wheeler.
Oh, nice.
Does that name ring a bell?
Kirk Wheeler.
Yes. Fantastic accent, by the way. So I've been looking, I'm working on a dinner theater show that is going up on Thursday, and I was watching an archive version to understand the show. And Lars was actually performing as Kirk Wheeler, and I love the chaps, the chaps you had, cowboy chaps.
Yeah,
well done.
The character's a truck driving cowboy type
who's been cheated on several different times. You really get the audience to feel for you, Lars, and it's quite riveting. Your performance of Elvira was absolutely incredible. I like the trotting around with the horse.
Yeah, that's a great show. You're speaking of big time murders. Normally they're doing murder mysteries. The show you're referring to is a big song and dance show called Big Time Idol. Check out bigtimemurder.com to check those out. Peter Dillon is the director and owner of the company, so shout out to Peter as well. I didn't know that they had recorded a version of that, so that was not what I was expecting you to say. Before the show, you said to me when we were backstage, you said, "Oh, I saw a performance of yours," and I was thinking that it was going to be something you saw on Netflix or a commercial or.
Because I've been watching a lot of basketball recently because of the NBA playoffs, I've been seeing your commercial a lot as well.
Like every day, right? Every night.
Oh yeah, almost every time it goes to break, yours shows at least maybe two out of the 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah. So you're being featured a lot, Lars. You're all around. You're always around.
I still get messages every day, almost every day, from around North America. Someone saying as like, "Did I just see you in a pizza commercial? I think I just saw you in a pizza commercial. Are you in a pizza commercial?"
Yeah.
Our film production professor Josh Troxler, who's based in New York City, I guess he's likely a basketball fan as well, and he keeps seeing me, and he said he'll see me and he go like, "Oh," and then his wife will be in the next room and be like, "Did you see Lars again?" So it's a thing where she'll hear him react to something on a commercial break and not the basketball game, and then she'll like poke her head in. Was it Lars again?
That's funny.
I'll send it to you at some point. Maybe we could talk about it next week, but somewhere on YouTube, someone has ripped the commercial and put it on YouTube. Or no, I think it's on the Little Caesars. Maybe we'll find it. If you go to Little Caesars, look at it right now. The comments are extremely divisive. People either love that commercial or hate it.
And there's some weird like leaps in psychology that people have made because of the people squished up close to each other. Maybe we can you share the screen? Let's just show.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Show the spot, and then we'll talk about the comments because people trolled the shit out of that spot. And somehow some of the well, I'll save it. I'll save the comments. We'll go through them. It'll be really fun.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, so see if you can blow that up. There you go. So this, to give everyone context, this is a Little Caesars commercial that I believe we filmed in Toronto in 2019. It first aired during the Raptors championship run, and they aired the crap out of it then. And then they've renewed it every year. And usually they bring it up during sports playoffs. I think it's usually NBA playoffs. I don't know. I guess they just figure that people who are sitting on the couch every night watching basketball.
Well, because it's advertising for like the game, right? Like they want people to get like the sports packages or like the new thing at Little Caesars, and like they can splice your commercial in front of whatever because you're just eating a slice of pizza.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. So they're just they're recutting it and turning my part into a new commercial. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And by the way, for those of you who are wondering, do I get paid again? The answer is yes. Somewhere, I don't know if Bella, my agent, has the check yet, but at some point, maybe it's in the mail. And who mails checks anymore? But somehow we still receive checks in this business. But I think I'm getting some in the neighborhood of 5G US is coming my way at some point. So that's nice.
Nice.
Gotta love that mailbox money. One of the big perks to doing commercials. I know that for most people, we've talked about this in a prior episode, that no one's dream is, or maybe I shouldn't say no one, but most actors' dream is not to be beloved commercial actor. But you gotta say nice things about the cash that you can get, and then that cash can fund those other dreams and can pay your rent for a long time. So it's been great. So scroll down. Let's actually watch the spot. This is the original spot, or scroll up, I guess.
Can you see that?
Yeah. Can you share that, or can you make it? Yeah, there you go.
Whoa. This Little Caesar stuffed crust pizza is really stuffed.
Boy, this is how you stuff a crust.
Is it too stuffed?
Probably not.
Little Caesar's Cheesy Stuffed Crazy Bread is, well, crazy. Walk in and walk out with Cheesy Stuffed Crazy Bread and Crazy Sauce for only $3.49.
Pizza.
There it is in all its story. So a couple things you'll notice about that spot, and the biggest thing is that was filmed pre-COVID. They had us jammed, the three actors with the spoken lines were the principal actors, and then they must have had another 50 or 60 extras all jammed into this tiny room eating, which would never happen right now post-COVID. So it's an interesting before and after, like the way it used to be versus the way it is now. So let's troll the comments. And so here we got a comment. The first YouTube comment is, "We would never stuff this many people into a room, but y'all did." Damn, that looks good. May have to go get some. It's that time again. Caesar the pretzel crust pizza must make its great return.
Oh yeah.
Cheese breadsticks. Yummy.
And because the original spot was for stuffed crust pizza, right?
Yeah, it was.
And now it's cheesy breadsticks.
Yeah, now it's just anything with cheese in it.
Yeah.
So all these are good. And then here's where it starts to get weird. Looks good, but for some reason, I'm just not sure if I recognize that guy at the end. He looks kind of familiar, but I have prosopagnosia, aka face blindness, and don't know if he's a celebrity or not. That's my favorite comment about me of all time. That guy looks familiar, but I have face blindness. I think I recognize that guy, but I don't see faces. I don't understand what any of that means, but I love it. Maybe you just recognize me from a Little Caesars commercial. You're like, is he? Yeah. So keep scrolling down. Maybe they've deleted some of the bad comments.
They probably have.
Oh, go back to the expand the comments under. Is that guy a celebrity? If there are there more under there? Yeah. So this is funny. I thought the same thing too. Is he one of the Farley brothers? Fun fact, Chris Farley, beloved stand-up or beloved Saturday Night Live comedian. He has at least two brothers. He has Kevin Farley, who's a stand-up comedian and actor, and another brother, John Farley, who's also an actor. And fun fact, several years ago, I was doing one of my very first background jobs in acting, and I was on Adam Sandler's movie Pixels, like the video game one. Dan Aykroyd's also in it. Kevin James is in it. A bunch of people are in it. It was great. Peter Dinklage is in it. So I was doing background for 6 days, and my scene, if you watch the movie, my scene is at the 1982 Video Game Championships, the flashback to when Sandler's character is a kid, and I'm in a powder blue suit. I stick out like a sore thumb, but if you blinked, you would miss me. But in between takes and in between shooting, I was just hanging out, and Sandler is also a producer on those shows as well. He wasn't in those scenes, but he was there on set as a producer. And he walked past me and he looks at me and he goes, "Hey, you remind me of John Farley." And we had a nice little conversation for a couple minutes about how he thought I looked like Farley. And I told him that I've actually had heard that before. So fun fact that someone else called me out as one of the Farleys. So if you look up John Farley, anyone, and I think a big part of it has to do with how much five head I'm showing. And John Farley also has a nice receding hairline here, but I'll take it. The Farley brothers, man, if you're going to be a part of some famous brothers, why not the Farleys? Love it. Scroll down. It gets even weirder. Is there any more under that one? There's no more under who is he?
No.
Because there was a whole, I thought there was another thing. Somebody in there thought I was Viggo Mortensen, I think. Yeah, expand all those. There's someone else. Maybe Little Caesars has gone through and deleted comments on here.
It looks like they might have. Papa John's all day. Shaq is the owner.
Right.
Yeah, I think it looks like they've either deleted comments or
maybe they have. Or yeah. Anyways, let's move on.
All right. Well, that was fun.
Our listeners at home are listening to us read YouTube comments, so we can move on. By the way, shout out to all the viewers and all the listeners. Make sure if you're listening to this on the podcast platform, hit that subscribe button so you can get notified of every new episodes. We do a new taping every Tuesday live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And then the audio goes on all the podcast platforms. And also make sure to share this out with your actor friends and your comedian friends. You can help them out and send some of these episodes to them. Also, we got to talk about this because it's coming up in just over 2 weeks now. The grand opening in 2022 of Comedy Alley is coming up on May 20th and 21st. Is going to be our opening weekend in Toronto. We're going to showcase some of the best comedians as seen on Just for Laughs, JFL 42, Netflix, Hulu, Crave, CBC, Comedy Network, HBO, and you can be a part of that. If you go to laughingvikings.com/comedy alley, you can grab tickets to that. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm going to give you a coupon code right now. If you use the coupon code VIP guest, you can get 50% off your first show. So go to laughingvikings.com/comedy alley, use the code VIP guest and get 50% off the opening weekend to Comedy Alley. There's only 20 tickets per show, and we've already sold a handful, so there's less than 20 tickets per show. Go, grab tickets, and we'll see you in the alley.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm excited for that. The comics for those shows are to be named. I'm going to be scheduling those and booking all those this week. But every week on Fridays and Saturdays at 8 p.m., we have shows coming up with some of the best pro comedians, people who we've seen headline comedy clubs across this country and many others. and headline at festivals. So it's going to be great. I'm super pumped. Are you excited?
Yeah,
Yeah,
super excited.
That was fun.
I get to DJ. I get to move that sound dial up and down.
Yeah, Brandon's DJ BK Broiler, aka DJ Spotify, working the playlists. Yeah, it's great. I love it because it's such a tight knit, intimate venue. Like I said, there's only maybe we can fit 25 people in there. The comedians love it because it is a unique, cool, special venue. It's not like the normal bar or restaurant show. And the neighborhood people loved it. We got great response last year, and we're looking to do it again all summer long. So make sure you go to that link, laughingvikings.com/comedy alley. And I'll mention you can get individual tickets there, but there's a deal. You can grab a 10-pack where you save 20% off. You can also grab a 20-pack and you'll save 30% off, or you can save 50% off with a Comedy Alley VIP Seasons Pass. And that gets you a pair of tickets to every week's show. You can pick the Friday or Saturday, but that's at least 24 weeks of show times 2 tickets. So that's 48 tickets where you get this Seasons Pass, and you can just come and live in the alley with us. You can just live there like I do all summer long. So check that out at laughingvikings.com/comedy alley. Those bulk ticket deals. So if you got a big birthday party, a bachelorette party, a work party with your coworkers, family reunion, just jam the alley with all of your friends, and you can save a big chunk off the tickets by doing that.
Nice. That does sound fun.
Yeah,
you could live in the alley.
You can live in the alley.
It's a pretty nice alley.
It's not too shabby. Yeah.
You can see behind Lars for reference.
Yeah, this is basically it. Here, I'll duck out of the way.
Yeah, you can see Goofy. Goofy's always there. And we have chairs. We do have those chairs.
There's Goofy.
Okay. What?
I was just pointing out Goofy.
Yeah.
And there's usually a kazoo there too. So if you're a kazoo fan,
maybe a kazoo or two.
Yeah. People usually say, Lars, is that a kazoo in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? And the answer is yes. Yes.
Yes.
All right. We had some exciting things happening around the studio this week. You want to share some of those client shout outs and success stories?
Yes, I do. So this first one, I'll let you read this one out, Lars, but it comes to us from Chris Gleason.
I'm not seeing
who recently had a session with us, I believe last Friday.
And he was a first timer, yeah?
Yes, he was.
I think he was referred from his agent. So Chris Gleason says, what an absolute treat it was with Brandon. I haven't had that much fun doing a self-tape in a long time. I highly recommend Lars and Brandon. What a fabulous experience. Thanks, guys. I will see you again. Chris. Thank you, Chris Gleason. And we've said this a bunch of times in podcasts and in multiple episodes. If your audition process isn't fun, and if somehow you've made acting not fun, you're doing it wrong. And I say that with a little caveat that, I mean, we all have life that's happening as well. So there might be the odd occasion where you got all this stuff going on in your life that maybe sucks some of the joy out of the performance day. I know recently, for example, I haven't been feeling that great. I had a couple days where I don't know if it was allergies or what it was down here. Sometimes that's it, or you got stuff in your personal life. But that should be even more reason that it's more fun, because you get to set aside your personal problems and your life problems and all those distractions, and then actually just go to the sandbox and play. So I know at Laughing Vikings and an Actors Audition Club, that's always been one of our big themes almost, is making sure that this is fun, making sure that when people arrive, they're in good spirits and a good mood, making sure that us as session directors are in a positive, upbeat, fun-loving, loosey-goosey, creative mode, instead of making it a stressful experience where it's like, oh my God, I got to get this right, or oh shit, I fucked up, or whatever actors might do. So just make it fun. And if you can't make it fun yourself, come see us at Laughing Vikings and Actors Audition Club. And to book a session, you can do Zoom sessions remotely, or you can book studio sessions, but go to laughingvikings.com/links. That'll show you all the booking links there. laughingvikings.com/links. You can do that for self-tape sessions. We also do VO sessions for your VO auditions. If you have a live Zoom callback or a live Zoom audition and you don't have a space to do that in your space, or maybe your space is noisy with kids and cats and dogs and jackhammers and rowdy neighbors, come to our studio and you can book it. And a session director will hook you up, get the tech set up, and then run the scene with you live, so that by the time production and casting comes on for your Zoom session, you're not going in cold. You've rehearsed it a bunch of times. Are you hearing that, New York? You hear that, New York?
That New York siren?
That was a genuine FDNY fire truck going by here on Madison Avenue in East Harlem. Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. So congrats to Chris. You had a great session with him. How was that?
It was fantastic. He came in like I always love working with people that love hockey as much as I do, because it always makes it easy to relate to someone. And I absolutely adored working with Chris. He came in and had a bunch of ideas for this very small part in the show, and like we found so much great material out of it, and like it was so much fun, and we laughed as much as we could, and like it was great. His agent really liked the tape, and it was very nice to see. And he brought croissants. That was very nice.
What? Wow.
Yeah, he brought croissants. They gave him some butter and some jam, and after the session we talked. I showed him Comedy Alley, and because I believe he's also a comedian as well.
Right.
And so he's done a little bit of comedy. And so we had a chat. We watched the tape. We ate croissants. It was a great day.
Sounds lovely. So for all these people who are getting stressed out with self-tape auditions, come see us. And if you want, you can bring croissants.
Yes. It's very much welcomed. Any food, really.
Right. Brandon will take it. Yeah, we got a few people. Adam Daniel Mazzei always brings us snacks too. Adam Langton always brings us Gatorade.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And Adam actually came in today and brought me a whole box of crackers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you. Huh?
Got like a year's supply.
A year's supply. Yeah, it's like a Price is Right booby prize.
Yeah. And he's like, when you're done with that, let me know, and I'll bring you another one. I'm like, wow, okay.
Right. Well, get to work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that actually leads into my next shout out. Is I wanted to give Adam Daniel Mazzei a huge shout out. For the last 2 days, he's had 2 callbacks. He has been here doing the Zoom callbacks in the audition room that we have at Laughing Vikings. We've had him set up, and he's crushed both of them. And like I hear them laughing and chatting and going and doing the scene and like enjoying themselves while doing it. And Adam Daniel Mazzei really has put in the work. And I really love working with Adam. He comes in all the time just to work on scenes for classes that he's doing, just for scenes for him. We do improv scenes together. And it's so much fun. It's so inspiring to see Adam Daniel Mazzei do his work and see how much he puts in and the dedication that he has to his craft. It's wonderful to see, and it's paying off dividends. It really, really is.
And Adam was also our grand prize winner in our Audition Hero contest during our inaugural live Audition Hero workshop that we did a few months ago. And speaking of that, if you missed that live event, that 3-day workshop where we talked all about auditions and how to up-level your auditions, you can get instant access to all of those 3 days of training by going to laughingvikings.com/audition hero, and you can register. You'll get access to all of those replays. And Adam, as the grand prize winner, he won a full year's membership with Actors Audition Club. He also won a 10-pack of audition sessions. And I still owe him a t-shirt as well. He's going to get an Audition Hero t-shirt as a result of that. So shout out to Adam. And you're right. There's probably not a person who has worked harder than him over and above what he has to do. Like, he's always working not just when he gets an audition. He's always working on his craft, and he books extra sessions, extra rehearsal sessions, improv sessions. Yeah, he's really serious about it, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to get to where he wants to be in his life and in his career. So yeah, I really respect him.
Yeah. And we have another review that came on Facebook. Did you want to read this one out, Lars?
Sure do. Fire it up. Oh,
can you see
okay.
it?
Yeah, you can make it a little bigger. This is from Rebecca Christine. She recommends Laughing Vikings. She said, I had an absolutely fabulous experience. Brandon was so much fun to work with and made me feel comfortable and at ease instantly. His feedback, questions, and guidance helped to elevate my audition, and the tape had excellent audio and visual quality, all for a reasonable price. Thank you to everyone at Laughing Vikings. Hooray, Rebecca Christine. Thank you. Yeah. There's a theme here. You know, I think if you scroll through all of our reviews, whether it's on Facebook or Google, the common theme is, I had a lot of fun. Who knew acting in auditions was supposed to be fun and not a terribly anxious ordeal? So yes, it's great. It's great.
And you know what's really a huge game changer, Lars? Clap them in and clap them out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. People are never expecting it, and it makes them feel so much better. And like sometimes it helps them leave the problems of their everyday life at the door, and they're able to just come in, do their work, have fun, and get out.
Right. And that's that. I got to shout out my university and high school friends. In university, we lived in residence the first year, but then in second year, third year, fourth year, and then a year after we all graduated, we had a house together where there was always 4, 5, or 6 of us living there. And it was a house rule that if one guy came home from a class or came home from wherever and the other guys were in the living room, we would all stand up and clap him in, and the guy would be like in the foyer, like, thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's just good vibes. And a little bit of it also reminds me of the Seinfeld episode where Kramer's doing the Merv. He has the Merv Griffin set, and they're doing remember when you never see this? This doesn't look like it's ringing a bell to you. So you're not a Seinfeld guy, were you?
No, not really. I mean, I've watched the first couple seasons, but I never really got really into it.
How dare you? So for everyone who knows what I'm talking about, Kramer, I don't know where he found it. He found it in like when movie sets and stuff get rid of it. So he basically, I think he found all this stuff, and it was a talk show set, and he set it up in his apartment, and then was just having Jerry and George and Newman over and just running a talk show. But there was always applause. Like they had a laugh track and an applause track and stuff. And it does make you feel good. And it's also it's a psychology term called primacy and recency effect, which is you remember the first thing that happened and you remember the last thing that happened. And then the middle is kind of the middle. So no matter what, we always know that their entrance and their arrival at Laughing Vikings Actors Audition Club is going to be a positive experience, and their exit is. And then 99 times out of 100, we know that the actual audition process is going to go great too. But there's just something about leaving to applause. I always follow you down the stairwell as well, and I'm clapping you out like, Brandon Knox, everybody. And then you kind of burst out onto the street laughing and or clapping, and people are walking by on the sidewalk wondering like, what the hell's going on?
What's going on up there? Yeah.
How come those people are having fun and laughing and enjoying themselves? I thought the world was a big dumpster fire right now. How come those people are enjoying life?
Oh yeah.
All right. So that's do we have another shout out? Is there another couple?
Yes, we do. We have one more shout out, and this is for Neetu Thacker. She booked her very first principal role on a TV show. She has also really been putting in the work. She signed up for Actors Audition Club right after the Audition Hero event, and she has really been putting in her work. and she comes in again with so many great ideas. I feel like I say this about everybody, but it's something I really, really value as a performer and as someone that shoots these auditions. Like, if you come in with a strong idea and a really clear vision of what you want to do with this character, I immediately respect you and love you for that, because that's what you need to do. That's
Right.
what you need to do as a performer. You need to be asking these feeling questions, like what Tom says.
How do you feel about everything, and having a strong point of view? Or some people say, what's your deal about everything? What's your take on it? What do you like? How are you feeling about everything? What are you playing, really, is what it comes down to, versus not making a choice and not having a point of view, and then you're just kind of vanilla in the middle. You're just reciting words. You're playing punctuation. You're not letting the part play you. You're not letting the words play you. And then you don't get the callback and you don't get the booking, because how could they? You didn't pop out to them. You didn't make it your own. And that's so, like, you're right. That is the job. And producers and casting directors, they want to know, I can give you this script, which is just words on a page, and that words on a page aren't anything. And I think a lot of people who aren't actors, when they watch a movie, they think like the director and or the script told the actor what to do everywhere, like told them every little physical thing they did, or any little like funny, quirky things they might have done. They think that was all scripted, but rarely is that stuff scripted. It's the actor turning those words into this fully fleshed out, three-dimensional character that is them, right?
Yeah.
It's not a character in the distance. It's just them under those given circumstances of the script. So yeah, it's great. Then one of the funnest things too is if you're looking at the script as a session director ahead of time, you might have your take on it, or your mental picture. It's hard not to look at a script and you kind of have a little bit of a notion of what it might look like, or you've seen a lot of movies and TV shows, so you might categorize it as this type of scene or that type of scene. And then someone comes in and they're like, whoa, I didn't expect any of that, which is exactly the response that'll end up getting you bookings from casting directors, where you stand out, you made all these unique choices, and you did it in a way that no one else did it, because you really made it yours and really personalized it.
Yeah. And that's what you have to do. And that's what Nitu does every single time. And she, for this audition, for the callback that we worked on, she had it mapped out that she wanted to do the scene 3 times in 3 distinct different ways. And she talked about how she wanted it to be done and how she wanted to portray these different aspects to this character, or how it could be played. And like, she came in with a game plan. We executed that game plan, and it paid off for her. And it was fabulous to see. Congratulations, Nitu. You earned this one, and you should be very proud of it.
Boom. Great. So let's lead in from that into I want to talk a little bit about preparation and rehearsal. I'm in New York here, finishing the last few weeks of conservatory with Todorow's conservatory, Tom Todorow's conservatory, which has been an amazing, transformative experience since September. And this Friday is our last class. Friday night, we have a 1-minute monologue showcase where all of us are putting up 1 minute of a monologue. So coming down the wire here, we've been encouraged and reminded to be making sure that we're rehearsing the crap out of it and fleshing everything out that we could possibly get out of that 1 minute. And so I went and got this. I had one of these back in Toronto and then I lost it. But this is one of them little clickers like that you see a bouncer have, keeping track of people in and out. And what we're suggested to do is at a minimum, rehearse your scene and or a monologue 250 times, which I would think the percentage of people that do that is so rare. But when you do the things that are rare, you end up being in that rare class of people who are having all of their dreams come true. And there's been times it's not the easiest thing. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of focus and attention. It takes some scheduling and planning. And no matter, like, I think you always underestimate the kind of prep that it takes to really nail it and to really get the words into your body, so that then you can just not be playing punctuation and not be thinking about lines, and myself included. So the experience that I had last night is I went for a walk to Central Park and was just running my monologue over and over again on my walk, and I would stop and run it a handful of times. And it was a pretty crazy experience, because at first it's like, you're like, oh my God, my goal last night was to do 50. I ended up doing 57. But by like take 6, I'm like, oh, this is so tedious. And Tom warned us about that. He's like, you're going to feel when you work at this level of discipline, the first little while, it's going to feel tedious and tough, and it just might not feel good. But the more you smash through those barriers, and the more you smash through those feelings of being uncomfortable, and you feel uncomfortable because the words aren't quite there, and they're not quite your words yet, but it's working through it so that you believe every word and every sentence and every idea that you're saying in that monologue, so that it comes out. And then also to do it a bunch of different times, a bunch of different ways, so that you never get locked in one cadence or one delivery, so that then you can be fresh and in the moment, and you can act at the speed of life, and you can shed the idea of looking like an actor that is reciting lines versus looking like a human being who's having a in the moment experience. But man, last night it was, at first, like I was at like take 6, and I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna be horrible. And even my focus too, I was finding, like, I'm sure you've rehearsed where you start a monologue and then you kind of like lose track and you get distracted, or you drop a line and then you're like, oh shit, now I got to start over again. But then by the time I was at like around take 30, I was like, ooh, this is coming along. And then you also find these new discoveries where you let yourself say what the words different, or you throw in some vocal variation, or you start doing you match some physical movement and match your body to the words, and you discover new things. And then you realize, like, oh shit, on take 37, I like the way that one sounded. That one really felt true and authentic and unique. Then it's like take 47. Ooh, yeah, I like that. And so you go through all these rehearsals, and then you end up taking all these little nuggets that you discover that you wouldn't have discovered if you just rehearsed it 5 times or 10 times. And it's that idea of, I don't know who said it, but I think there's this sports quote of, or maybe it's an acting quote of practicing. People can practice till they get it right. Yeah. Or you practice until you can't get it wrong. So, and I've done this too in the past, whereas like you rehearse until you finally get all the way through it and it felt good. But that's just the beginning. Then you got to do it another maybe 250 times, so that it's just in you. You can do it backwards and forwards. You can do it with your eyes closed. You can do it walking backwards. You could do it lying down. You could do it while doing sports. You could do it while running, while doing the dishes. You can do it every which way. And it's impossible for it to not be there. And then you can release all of the logical way of doing it, or the line read ways of doing it, and it's also that quote of, I don't know who said it, but acting is a great thing, but don't ever get caught doing it. Meaning the best actors don't look like they're actors acting, saying lines. They look like they're human beings in these extraordinary situations, being human beings. And you can't really release that until you've done that many rehearsals. So last night was a breakthrough for me to have that discipline, because I can't say that I've done 57 rehearsals of anything in the last little while. I've slacked a little bit of that, at least in one session. So it was like an hour and a half of walking. And then by the end of that, I was like, oh shit, this is way more in me. And I'm going to do another 50 or 60 tonight. I'm going to do another 50 or 60 tomorrow. And then we do it on Friday, we put it up. So on Tom's recommendation, get yourself one of these from Amazon, or I got mine from Staples, and put in the discipline to smash through all these rehearsals. And what's on the other side of that is something that you didn't even realize you had in you, because you make all these discoveries in rehearsal. And then also you feel really good because you're like, oh shit, like someone who goes to the gym, you realize I'm a disciplined person and I can decide I want to do something, and then I actually do it. And in a world where the only one actor gets the gig, and there's maybe a 10% or 1% of all actors from community theater all the way up to Hollywood A-listers. It's a rare breed that's living their dreams and getting everything they want in their life and working consistently to the point where they never really have to work again. And it's likely, with the exception of some people who get quote unquote lucky, most of those people are there because they worked their asses off, they trained their asses off, they rehearsed their asses off, and then they reap the rewards for all that work. So yeah, it's just that idea of, if you find yourself on the road less traveled, and certainly rehearsing something 250 times, not everyone's going to do that. So you can really separate yourself just by the discipline of rehearsing.
Yeah. No, yeah. And that's 100% true. I've done the 250 times before on mostly for one-line character auditions, but it works. You feel so in your body. You feel so much more connected to the work, and you're able to do it any way that it needs to be done, or that people want it to be done, because it's so ingrained in you. It's part of your DNA at that point.
Yeah, and you can't get it wrong. Like, if you're ever the worst feeling ever going into either performance, God forbid, on stage or on set or in an audition scenario, the worst feeling ever is the actor thought before they say action of, what are my lines? Or if you're having to drill lines in an Italian just to make sure that you got the lines there, that's just like a recipe for disaster, versus being able to just take a deep breath, be completely relaxed, and then be in the character moment of your moment before, versus the actor moment of, oh shit, I hope I remember my lines. Oh shit, I hope I don't forget my lines.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
And you know what's funny about 57, Lars?
What?
Tom's company, I believe it's called T57 Productions.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Fun fact.
Just a little fun fact for you.
Fact. Yes. 57. And Heinz 57. 57 spices, or 57 flavors of barbecue sauce. So yeah, rehearse, and then rehearse again, to the point that you're like, oh my God, this is brutal. And then you smash through that. It is a lot. I likened that experience last night a lot to workouts or going for a run or training like that, where at some point it did feel uncomfortable. And at one point I'm looking at this clicker thinking, oh my God, I gotta do 50 of these. What am I at? Oh shit, I'm at 17. Feels like I've been doing this forever already. And then by the end I was like, oh, all right, this feels good. And now I got to do it all over again tonight. So basically, after we end this podcast, I don't think I'm going to go for a walk, because I want to start doing it. We're doing it via Zoom. So I want to do it in the space and with the camera on and seeing all that. So it's much closer to performance day versus randomly walking around in a park saying the lines. I want to not lock in, but rehearse some of my actual movements and the blocking. When do I come close? When do I give myself a wide shot? The other thing that he's talked a lot about is making sure that you do find in a performance. A lot of actors just plant and they're just in a medium or a medium close and they don't move, which when you're in a close-up, you can't really move. But what's going to tell a story better is you have an opportunity where you're in a medium, you're in a wide back here where you can do more physical things, and then you find a very still close moment where you can give them that perfect close-up. That's going to stand out, and you're going to appear like an actor who really understands lens and really understands frame and really understands filmmaking and storytelling, versus just planning and not moving, and that's it.
No, 100%. And maybe it's good to do a run of just thinking the words. get those thoughts in there, because that's important as well. Like I've been consistently asking more actors, what are your thoughts when you say that line?
Right.
Because as Tom says again, you think longer thoughts.
Right.
What are you thinking there? Because we're not always thinking the words that we're saying, and sometimes we have a secret behind it. Sometimes we're thinking, why is this person asking me this question? Or like, think.
Yeah, it's our thoughts as human beings. It's our thoughts that also prompt what we say as well. We hear somebody say something, we think something about that, then we say something. And in Shakespeare is just like a Shakespeare monologue is a big giant monologue of thinking and of thoughts and of working through this problem and working through this scenario. And each line and even less than the line is prompted by a thought. And if you're not having those thoughts authentically in the moment, then it looks like somebody giving a speech or a recital or a lecture versus a human being actually being a human being.
Refer back to our episodes with James Wallace and Julia Nish Lapidus and Mary Lou Rosado. We did a 2-part episode exploring Shakespeare. Highly recommend you listen to both those episodes.
Yes. And we're doing a masterclass this Saturday here in New York with Mary Lou Rosado in person as well too. So we're all
nice.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Do you have to prepare a monologue for that, or do you know?
I don't know if we're bringing in monologues or we've been working on scenes in class. So we may just be continuing with the scenes that she's been working on us, or maybe she's got something completely fresh planned. I don't know if we've been given the directives. I think we're just all at the ready with monologues and or scenes.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Solid episode so far. Anything else you want to add to?
Well, how do you feel about a quote?
A quote to inspire our week?
Yes, Lars. Would you like to hear a quote to inspire our week?
Let's do it.
Well, today's quote, Lars, comes from Jessica Chastain, who just recently won an Oscar this year. And she says, I realize as an actor, I put myself in situations that feel masochistic because I'm so uncomfortable. But then I also think I'm so lucky to get to do what I do. It's such a gift to have this job. So in some sense, it's like my penance. I'm supposed to be uncomfortable. I'm supposed to do things that don't feel good sometimes. It makes it worth it. And this quote really comes back to the point that Tom says of get comfortable with the uncomfortable. And I absolutely love that, because we have to be able to step out from feeling those emotions sometimes to questioning, why do I feel that way? And it's important to listen, to eavesdrop sometimes, to hear how people react to certain situations. I know Tom in our Saturday workshop always says when he was living in New York, and I believe he still lives in New York, but he would run around Manhattan or run around New York, and like if someone was arguing or in an argument, he would just stand and like pretend to wait for a bus so that he could listen to what they were saying. And that's important as actors. We need to understand and ask questions about the human experience, because we're professional human beings. Again, as Tom likes to say.
Right. Yeah.
We should call this episode Tom Quotes.
I love, we could call a lot of episodes Tom Quotes. So yeah, shout out to Tom and the Todoroff Conservatory, the weekly workshops, the intensives that they run. They've been game changers for me in my life and in my career. And it'll be something that I'll take with me forever. And as soon as I'm done conservatory, I'll be back in the weekly classes on Saturdays with you every week as well too. So I love it. Yeah, that's the idea of get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's how I felt last night too, going through this. But it reminds me of another quote, and I don't know who said it, but there's two pains in life: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. And you just get to choose which pain you want. And the rest of the quote says something like, the pain of discipline weighs ounces and the pain of regret weighs pounds. So you can put yourself in a little pain. Like last night, I'm walking around lamenting, oh my God, I still got to do this 50 times. Or I would have the pain of regret on Friday at this showcase of potentially not being at my A game and then thinking, oh shit, I didn't have an A game performance there. And wanted to finish the conservatory strong and to have a great showcase and be a part of the celebration with my classmates. And you don't want to be the one on stage, or you don't want to be the one who misses an opportunity that's a life changer, where if you had spent a couple of more hours rehearsing before an audition, all of a sudden you're booking a series lead, or you're booking a feature film lead, or you're booking a national commercial campaign that pays you 6 figures and allows you to put a down payment on a house or pay your rent for several years. All of that is pain of discipline up front to avoid the pain of regret later on in life. And what would you rather have? Would you rather have the pain of the workout and of the discipline of the work, or the pain of realizing that you didn't do your best and you just let a massive opportunity slip between your fingers, and then you're running over that in your brain forever and ever, thinking, oh fuck, if I had just spent 2 more hours, I would have booked something that paid me 7 figures for the rest of my life and would have set me up for my entire career. Your choice. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Get clicking. Click. Put in the work. Yeah. It's work, but it should be fun work.
Yes.
So it's great. Yeah. I mean, that Jessica Chastain quote says it all. It's like, yeah, there's the uncomfortable stuff, but it's also this brilliant, fun opportunity that she gets to be a part of, and she gets to do crazy, amazing things every day in her life. And the lifestyle she gets to have for herself and her family as a result of the financial compensation from it is pretty amazing too. So it's huge. All right. This has been a great episode. Make sure that you share this out with your friends. Make sure you're subscribed. To book a session at Laughing Vikings Actors Audition Club, go to laughingvikings.com/links. And you can book an in-person session or a Zoom session, and you can have a lot of fun with your audition and nail that next audition or that next callback. And also, do not forget, coming up soon, it is the grand opening weekend of Comedy Alley, May 20th and 21st. We got an 8 p.m. show featuring some of the top comics in the land. And you can go to laughingvikings.com/comedy alley, and you can grab individual tickets, 10 packs, 20 packs, or you can grab a VIP seasons pass, which gets you a pair of tickets to every show every week, or to a show every week for the entire season. So you can do that as well. So thank you. Episode 85. That's a wrap. Clap them out. Hey, Brandon Knox, everybody.
Lars Classington, everybody.
Oh, thank you.
No, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, no, thank you for thanking.
Oh, no.